What's up, guys? It's been a minute since I made a video, but I went to a really cool estate sale today, bought some awesome tools, and just wanted to share it with y'all. I've really been missing this, so I want to get back into video making anyway, but we're going to start somewhere, right? So here we go. So this estate sale that I went to today, I got on Yard Sale Treasure Map, which is an awesome map, by the way. Really easy way to kind of see what's going on the weekends for garage sales and stuff. Uh, that's going through, looking at pictures, and one of them was just nothing but tools, it seemed like, which I like tools. I think that some of the best profit in tools, a lot of people they accumulate a lot of tools, and then they end up not being able, like somebody passes away or they have to move out of their house or whatever. I've been there, and they have to get rid of a bunch of stuff right away, really fast. So there's a lot of good opportunity there for profit if you're stay on top of that kind of stuff. But I went there, and sure enough, it was all tools. There's a bunch of stuff that was just lined up on the driveway as I walked in. It's like, ooh, I want that. Ooh, I want that. Ooh, I want that. But it was all spoken for. People were coming back for it, so I didn't get everything that I wanted. But got some cool stuff. Right on the end of the driveway, there was some free stuff, just like cleaners and stuff like that. So, you know, PVC cement and polishing compounds and stuff like that. And this stuff is ridiculous. I mean, it's like, some of this stuff, it's very expensive, so I wanted to get this just to have around since it didn't cost me anything. That's a pretty good brand. DeWalt. There's a lot of once I got in the garage and started looking around, it was pretty apparent that the guy knew his tools. He knew he used a lot of quality tools, and so I wasn't too worried about what I was grabbing, because they were all going to be good stuff. But got some drill bits and some saw blades. You know, these are all like $1 a piece, and I mean, I'm actually going to make knives out of these, out of the ones that don't fit my saws. So I got a miter saw that I actually need some of these blades for anyway, and then a couple of circular saw blades for my circular saw, just to have them as spares. But I mean, $1 a piece. These things are like $20–$30, some of them, especially the bigger ones. So yeah, they're really good, and they're good for making knives. Sandpaper. I just needed sandpaper. You can't have too much of this stuff. Out of all the tools that you go through, this is probably the most the thing that you go through the most. And it had a little belt sander belt in there, so that's mostly what I got it for. But you know, sandpaper never can't have too much of it. Found this little guy, $1.50. It's actually, everything was half off because it's Sunday and it's the last day, so this ended up costing me 75 cents. It's just an old vintage handsaw. Looks kind of dull, but I still get some use out of it. Yeah, but the teeth look pretty good. I practiced cutting off a end of a 2x4 just to see how bad it was, and it's not bad at all, and it has a really easy to replace blade, so if I can find blades for it, all the better. Hand braces. These things are money. These hand crank drills. They got the ratcheting ones. This one's not a ratcheting one. This is just a regular one, but it's got the little bit on the end that you put your drill bits in. And this is what they used before they had electric drills. So these things usually sell for around $20–$30 a piece minimum, even for a lower quality one, because nobody makes them anymore. There's a couple companies maybe, but nothing quality. These are wood handles, and I mean, this thing is pretty freaking nice. It was marked at 10. I got it half off, $5. Pretty good deal. I might end up keeping it because I kind of need one, I guess, but I don't know. My rule with tools is if it's worth a lot and it sits in my toolbox for like a couple months and I never use it, then it goes on eBay. I found these digital calipers. I didn't even look these, I'm sorry, manual calipers. Fowler brand. little measuring tool. Needed a set of these anyway, so I'm gonna definitely be holding on to these, but got a little nice little leather sheath. $4, half off, so I paid 2. Not bad. I didn't even look it up. I just know that I needed a pair of calipers, so I grabbed them until I can find a cheap pair of digital calipers to replace those. Some more belts for belt sanders. These were only a couple dollars. It's $1.50 for 2. This is $1 for 1, so 50 cents. So basically $2 for 3 brand new belts. I mean, if you know anything about these, they're pretty expensive. So definitely worth a couple bucks. I found all these tapping bits for making screw holes. $3 for this bag, $3.50 for this bag, and when I looked at them, a lot of them were made in the USA, made in Germany. They've got all the little markings on them and stuff. So even if I don't decide to keep them, they're still going to sell really well. But I'm probably going to keep these, or at least pick through them and keep some of the ones that I need the most, because I do need some tapping bits. I have 0 right now in my toolbox, and they're a very good addition. Let's see. This is a set of Craftsman, vintage Craftsman ratchets. Maybe hard to show you guys without lifting them up, but it comes with 3 ratchets and lots and lots of bits. It's missing a couple of them, but I paid $15 for this set, and they sell for over $100 pretty consistently. These old vintage Craftsman tools are very sought after. Craftsman's made in the USA. These were all made in the USA. They're people like them, and I have a lot of sockets, and I've broken a couple of socket wrenches, but never an actual socket. So I'm not necessarily it's got to be made in the USA guy, except based on principle. But if you're buying something secondhand at like estate sales and thrift stores, it doesn't really matter where you get it. Somebody already paid the company that made it. You're just getting a good deal on it. So I got a couple of these cables to tie some stuff down in my backyard here. I'm using my patio for my shop right now because I don't have as much space as I used to. No garage or anything, but I've got a table saw out here and a couple of other things that I don't want to see walk away, so I'm trying to make it as hard as possible to let that happen. Got a little ball peen hammer. This one was actually coming apart. Like the head wasn't on there very well, so I had to clean it up a little bit, and I did not do a great job, but it's going to do the job. I'm not going to be beating on anything really hard with this. It's more of not necessarily a precision tool, but I don't see myself using it for real heavy duty work, and if I do, then I'll just put a new handle on it. But I did put a new wedge in the top and everything, and it's on there nice and tight now. So found a pair of Crescent brand needle nose pliers, made in the USA. Once again, these vintage tools are good money, and this pair cost me like 50 cents, something like that. Super cheap. So I will take that all day. This guy had a bunch of these files. This one was broken on the end, but it was so big and beefy. This thing is going to be useful. I'm going to be keeping it for sure, but it's made in the USA. Nicholson is the brand, warranted, all that stuff. Couple of definitely have a few good files in your toolbox, and you can always turn them into knives. They're typically high carbon steel, so they make good knife stock, which I don't think this one's going to become a knife, but who knows? Things things happen. I find other things or other stuff, and I might find a file that's similar that I like more, but we'll see. For now, I'm going to hold on to that. 12-inch crescent wrench made in the USA. This is the Crescent brand. I paid $3.50 for it. They typically sell for around 20 or 30 bucks. This is a very good find. There were a couple other wrenches in there that were all the same size. I only needed one. I'm probably going to keep this. But if I wanted to sell it, I could easily get $25, $30 for it, I think, if I held out. But it's keep on the lookout for any of these hand tools made in the USA. When you find some estate sales with just a bunch of that stuff kind of in piles, you can get really good deals on all of it. A lot of times. I found this blower in the free pile. I don't know if it works. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get it working. I looked up the model, and similar blowers sell for around 100 bucks. But I want to use this for a forge so that I can start doing some metalworking and knife making and stuff. So if I get it running, then that's what it's going to be used for. But it cost me nothing. If nothing else, I can, take the motor off and scrap it and get a couple bucks. Worst comes to worst, but it was free. I got all those belt sanders, belts for this belt sander. It's a Harbor Freight, super cheap. Not expecting much out of it. It was $10. I think I'll get enough use out of it to at least let it pay for itself. But yeah, there were actually two belt sanders there. This one and a Craftsman. They wanted a little more for the Craftsman, and the Craftsman was older and much bigger. Like the body was bigger, but it used the same size belts. And I'm sure it probably would have been a better buy. And if I was buying them for resale, I would have gotten the Craftsman. But I need one of these just to kind of help finish and sharpen my knives. So we're going to go with, I went ahead and went with this one. And of course you saw all the belts that I picked up for it. Now the gem of the whole trip, I didn't know what I was looking at. No idea what it was, but I had an idea. But I just saw this giant, big, heavy cast engine with the flywheel on it. It's a little motor. And when I looked it up, it's a Speed Air. And you can the model number is like cut, so I can't really read the model number. But I did find similar ones on eBay. I paid $4 for this, and they sell for minimum $500, all the way up to $700 or $800, and so I think I did pretty good. This will pay for the entire trip. I won't feel bad about keeping all the other stuff. Oh, you know what? I did forget one thing. This is an 8-pound sledgehammer. I've been looking for one of these. The handle's shot, but that's okay. I don't need it to be a sledgehammer. I'm going to make an anvil out of this because I don't want to pay $200 or $300 for a small anvil until I decide that I'm going to get serious about metalworking. But you can make a small anvil out of these and then get like a woodcutting wedge or something. And then just, I'll probably make a video showing how I do it. So stay tuned for that in the future. But yeah, cool little sledgehammer. I paid $1.50 for it. It was $3, so I got it for half off. And I'll pay $1.50 for this kind of stuff all freaking day. Because I mean, even if I was gonna sell it, this thing will fit in a flat rate envelope. I'll get $20 for it. $5 bill for a couple pictures and sticking something in an envelope. But anyway, thanks everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm sorry I've been gone for so long, and I hope that I can find time to make more videos. And if you aren't subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button, hit the little bell to get your notifications, and then if you could give me that big thumbs up, I would appreciate it. Thanks everybody for watching. See you next time.